one of the listeners this week was like, I don't understand the hero worship of Freddy Krueger considering the nature of his crimes. It was actually Jack. I'm just teasing Jack.
It's problematic.
It's
A problematic character.
He's difficult to wrap our heads around. I like normal murder. It's funny. It's just as long you're only pro murder if it's the right babies. I think is what I'm starting to learn based on Twitter. By the way, stay off Twitter these days. It is a war zone. Pardon the pun.
Is it?
Oh boy, everything I look at on Twitter is some 7-year-old getting jump sidekicked by a 15-year-old kid as they beat up his mother, and like people posting
Christ.
pictures of like shell-shocked children and people hiding under airplanes and death and robbery and car accidents and animals getting shot, and it's just a shit show. It's a human cesspool, as it were. It's problematic, like Freddy Krueger is problematic. Do you think Freddy Krueger is problematic?
For sure. I mean, I guess I kind of I've always separated Freddy from like when he was alive versus when he became a dream demon.
Right. I just want to know if, in your opinion, the fake person doing the fake crimes is a problem for you in your real life.
I lose sleep over it.
You do? You lose sleep over the fact that this man in makeup pretended killed people once upon a time? Does that really bother you at night when you go to bed?
Well, now I lay in bed and I can't sleep from it. And I also just go on Twitter and post about how much Freddy Krueger and his problematic hero worship bothers me.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Although it is kind of funny that you could probably wear a Sioux Indian costume as a white and get more flack than if you wore a Freddy Krueger child killer costume.
Oh, absolutely. No one cares. No one gives a shit.
That's such a wild idea. But Halloween, you're supposed to, you're either paying homage to something or you're trying to look at a cool costume. That's all it is, right? So
Yeah.
Is it a problem I dressed as Freddy as a kid. How ironic is that?
Yeah, I did too. I had Freddy come to my seventh, I think it was my sixth birthday. One of my dad's friends dressed up as Freddy Krueger.
Is that weird though? Is it weird? Is Freddy Krueger weird there's Freddy. Name all the guys. Just take the true crime. Take the whole fucking genre. You want to talk about worshiping the wrong shit.
Well, I could worship like
Ted Bundy fucking. I wish he'd fucking strangle my fucking skinny wife fucking.
they'd have no problem with that. But if it was John Wayne Gacy, they'd be like, "Oh, he's a fucking animal because he's a big fat
he's
clown
ugly?
man." Yeah,
The fat guy gets no love. You
like,
don't want
"Oh."
the fat guy to stomp your guts out.
I sent 6 letters to Richard Ramirez, and now he's sending me nudes of his dick, and I love it. But God forbid if David Berkowitz sends me a fucking dick, fucking animal.
Is Berkowitz uglier than the Night Stalker?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely. He just
I think
looks
the
like
Night Stalker's a creep, man. He looks
real scary. But I think Berkowitz looks like an extra on The Sopranos in the background somewhere.
It's true. It's true. That's a really good thing. This is my friend, fucking Berkowitz. He's going to be taking over the construction business.
He's just like, he's like, Adriana, you better dye your hair blonde, okay?
No
he likes
shit.
to kill brunettes.
Hey, keep him away from fucking Adriana. I'm not even kidding.
I put up with Paulie sniffing the panties. I'm not going to put up with him killing her.
I don't know, man.
Fuck.
But it's the thing. It is that. So I know that I obviously I'm fucking busting Jack's balls. He's the one who posted it somewhere on Facebook about the hero worship of Freddy or some shit like that. Is that a? Would you call that a? I mean, he's not here to defend his point, but I want to talk about that point because I think that's probably a point shared by many TV outlets in the 90s that were talking about satanic toys and shit. No, I'm kidding. But do you think hero worship, what does that mean? Is that what?
Well, I mean, I guess because as a kid in the 80s, Freddy was everywhere. But it wasn't in 81. It wasn't in 80, what is this, 84, right?
It was not the first movie because the first movie's got a little bit more gritty. It started to get
dark.
silly you know.
It was really part 3 because he started to be a little more quippy. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Right.
You know, things like that. This one, he's just dark and menacing and terrifying.
Yeah.
He's not on MTV at 11 o'clock at night telling you, oh, I'm Freddy and I'm going to show you the best metal videos for the next 2 hours. He was all over everything when I was a kid. So I could understand later in it, there was that hero worship, but not during this.
But it's still a weird thing. I mean, again, I'm not going to just beat up on his point because the point, the relevant point is if he is in fact this symbol of child murder, and then he's on MTV being like, check out fucking Black Number One.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like, is that a problem?
It is if you look at everything with a 2023 lens versus the 80s.
Or a 1950 lens.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic?
It's weird because we did have that weird pendulum swing where we were very, very conservative in our views, and then the late 70s came in and cocaine hit the scene, and we didn't give a shit about anything. We didn't care.
Well, then you come out of that in the late 80s and early 90s with Satanic Panic, right?
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about on the bonus ep. But yeah, it comes in waves. The pendulum swings is how you said it. I think that's the best way to say it. But I think the answer is no. It's just make believe.
I could see it like I don't understand the hero worship of like, you know, what's the Jeffrey Dahmer, things like that, where people are like,
people who
I love
really
him.
killed people.
Yeah, he like really fucked people's lives up, and they're like, yes, fucking kill me, strangle me, yes.
Right.
Where that was a real person who hurt real people. Freddy Krueger is a dream demon thought up by Wes Craven, which was an amalgamation of a nightmare he used to have, a bum he ran into, and a kid who used to beat the shit out of him when he was a kid.
Nice.
So it's not really, I don't think it's comparable. I can see, like, if you look at it today, you're going, yeah, we always have a way of taking things that are just not a big deal back then and making them a big deal now. I mean, we're doing that with history now, with everything, and it's. I don't think it was a problem because it was just a movie.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it is just a movie, right?
Yeah, I know.
No one was hurt by it.
It's a thing that we've talked about before. We've made this joke about this before. I'll tell you the exact reply was. Maybe it was on Discord then. All I'm seeing is Aaron Miller's giant posts about his art.
Yeah, which is
fucking
rad.
guy. He ain't stupid. He knows when to take his shot to market. He's like, ooh, now's my fucking chance.
Let's do it.
I'm just fucking with him. Hey, listen, I'm beating up on the listeners a little bit today. It's fun for me.
Yeah,
but it's only because I love them.
Everyone's fair game here. Even me.
Even me. Great movie, but the hero worship of Freddy is troubling given the nature of his crimes. Sorry to be Debbie Downer. That's the statement from Jack on Discord.
No, I get it. I get that. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think that's a problem these days. I mean, we like to take a weird lens and look back in the history of even just the culture of movies and the 80s in general. And we look back and go, that was wrong. Yeah, it was wrong. But you can't just keep going back and holding things that of different times to today's standards. It's just not fair. It's just not fair.
Well, what about this? Let's talk about the nature of his crimes. What about the nature of his crimes would be more or less severe than, say, Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees?
It was younger children.
How old? But that doesn't happen in the movie. That's like an off-camera mention.
No, and that is when he was alive. That wasn't when he was Dream Demon. So it really doesn't really have anything except for it's his backstory. It's his background why he's such a bad guy.
What was his backstory? And that comes up in the first one because drunk mom's like, I fucking fucked him up. You fucking dumb fucking cunt of a daughter.
Don't worry about Freddy because I blew him. I mean, I killed him. Mommy killed him.
Bobby fucking set him on fire by spilling her fucking alcohol over his shoes.
She's a fucking drunk one, that one, huh?
Dude, how many bottles of Stoli are hidden in the closets in that house?
When's Nancy going to wake up and just see her dead in her own vomit? Pretty soon, I'm guessing. Going to be like fucking Mama Cass choking on a sandwich.
Shit. Hell yeah.
She got short. I don't know, man. Nancy's mom's... I don't even... The end of this movie is so weird, but we'll talk about that. But what do you think?
Yeah.
It is. They just say, "Oh, he killed children."
Yeah, he was a filthy child murderer, is what they said. He murdered about 20 kids. Now think about that. 20 children? Real quick, the police department in Springwood, the police department, you all need to be fired.
Yeah.
Imagine 20 children going missing in a town and no leads. No one has any idea.
You know, it's pretty wild. Fake Freddy Krueger killed 20 children off screen, and the hero worship for him is problematic. However, the U.S. military's killed how many children, and we just sucked their cocks at every opportunity.
What do you mean? We gave Obama a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. Don't tell them to all those weddings.
We hellfire missile any place that we hear the electric slide. And a bunch of kids get vaporized, and we're like, we fucking need them. They're the best.
He just looks. He's got a.
That makes people so uncomfortable because the left and the right love the military now. So if you take any shots at them, you're going to get letters.
I just love the fact he's got like a scale.
These are jokes, people.
Of colors. He's got like, okay, this guy's white. This guy's kind of white. You get too far on that scale into the darker colors, and he's like, draw and strike him.
Oh, you think he uses paint swatches from Home Depot?
Yes.
Chocolate, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Take one of these. Get the kid with his Xbox control. No. It's funny, though. Like, how many you kill, like, I don't know.
And see, that's the part of, like, people's outrage and upset and the whole satanic panic thing that is so weird to me because you're totally fine with people being massacred as long as you don't have to see it or have anything to do with it. It's totally fine.
It's wild,
like,
dude.
You know,
like
I'm
people
gonna play
can just be like, well, you know, that's collateral damage. That's just life.
And they have no problem with that. They're like, go back to my penthouse with my cocaine and my hookers. I'd have no problem with it.
Unless you were to look out your window across the street and see your friends and neighbors home in smoldering ashes as they pull rubble off looking for their child.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately,
but then you know what you do? You just dust it off, and you sing your songs, and you tell people that Freddy Krueger is wrong somehow.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's
weird.
It's weird where we set our moral compass in a lot of things. And I mean, moral consistency is something I do my best to keep. It's very hard because the world is so skewed. But I mean, like, at the end, it's a movie
We're
about
all compromised on some level, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, we're using computers, we're using phones, we're using technology that was made by slave labor. There's some kid digging cadmium and cobalt out of a mine by hand in Africa, and we are all guilty of it.
That new S24 is sick, though.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm
You're like, damn, my new iPhone 15. I don't know how many kids had to lose their fingers for it, but I don't give a shit because I got it. You know, it's
dude. I know. Listen, I know it sounds like I might be beating up on Jack. I like Jack a lot. I think he's really cool. I correspond with Jack routinely. He's setting up his own like pod and stuff, and I've been trying to help him with that. And he's fucking cool. So hopefully he knows I'm just taking shots at him for fun. Because I am just as guilty as a lack of moral consistency sometimes, is despite me trying, and yeah, I think it would, and I know we probably made this same point at some point to say, yay, Freddy Krueger, the kid killer, high five, that's great, yeah. We love a kid killer. That is kind of fucked up, right? A little bit,
of course.
It's a fucking movie. It's fake kids and it's fun, right?
Yeah.
When I'm watching any of these horror movies, we're covering The Exorcist, we're going to be talking Mike Myers next week. You know, I'm not thinking to myself, oh, I just love the way he's killing people. I want to kill people for real. Yeah. It's just cool. We want to be afraid. We want to see what happens. You know, we want to know what it's like to like be scared and be in a controlled environment like a movie, etc. You know?
Yeah. And I think that's where the hero worship comes from. And like why people love horror movies, they can see things that they never would ever do themselves, and they put themselves in that position to be part of that, and still have the safety and the morality higher ground to just go, okay, it was a movie and I enjoyed it. Cool. Would I cut someone to pieces with a fucking knife hand? No.
Only if they deserved it.
Oh, I mean, I guess, right? Or if you're having a wedding somewhere in Iraq. But, you know, it's just, it's something that's interesting to me, and that's why I'm kind of getting into it a little bit, because it's something that Not the drone striking people in Iraq.
What if a J dam just deployed Freddy claws? Just that'd be wild.
That would be nuts. Be like, who killed all these guys? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wolverine.
Yeah, there's just everyone's just got claw marks all over them. They're like, what the hell happened here?
They sent Weapon X in finally.
Hell yeah.
No, but I think it's so. Let's break this down into something a little more fun. Do you have any? You got a lot of tattoos. Do you have any tattoos of fake serial killers on you?
Yes, I do actually.
All
Several.
Right, you don't have to take your clothes off. It's on
I'm
YouTube,
taking them off.
by the way.
Yeah, we're going on YouTube. I'm not pulling my nipples out. It's okay. Hold on. A little off
Right.
mic. I apologize. Okay.
Frankenstein's more of a victim, though.
Yep. I got a good old Leatherface
All right. Okay. What does that mean? That you like serial killers?
that I want to cut
Can you
people up with chainsaws.
explain yourself to me, sir?
Yes, it actually scared the shit out of me, and it's been something that I've loved. And the whole thought of like people being so deranged off the beaten path that they just like turn people into chili is really interesting to me.
Yeah. Like you want to, interesting. Like you want to try it. You want to participate.
I want to win chili cook-offs. I just don't have the privacy in my neighborhood to cut people up and smoke them slowly over a fire.
Brian Campbell is a known chili connoisseur. You should hook up with him. He has a
hell
chili
yeah.
cook-off every year that he hosts on Facebook.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I also have Jason Voorhees as well.
Got it.
So
Now, have you ever murdered anybody?
no.
Not in a video game.
No. I've never harmed anyone that didn't have it coming.
Nice.
But I've never killed anyone. That's for sure. All of a sudden I just disappear from the podcast and you just see my mugshot on the television because I accidentally just dox myself.
So if I see a guy with tattoos of horror movies on him, I go, ew. And then I go, no, I'm kidding. I go, they must be a horror movie fan. I go, yeah, I was dumb at 18 too. No, I'm kidding. I go, they must be horror movie fans, and that's cool.
Yeah. It's, for me, like, there's very few movies, but there are movies that were such pivotal things in my life.
Now,
I was not very popular as a kid, so I tell the story all the time. Get right out of town.
Get on your horse and gallop the fuck out. I don't believe that for a second.
You mean the kid with all the weirdo models and fucking horror movie shirts at 10 years old wasn't popular?
I had a D&D book in my Trapper Keeper. I'd get it.
So you were the same way, just a little different. But I mean, so when...
Except we could play sports, so we were left alone.
Yeah.
We were weird.
I played sports too.
No, I know. We were weird.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even mean like for the school, but we would fucking be out on the football field tossing the ball around. And we were confusing to people because, we were weirdos who like could use our bodies,
Yeah. I was a baseball player for a long time. And that was the thing. I had purple hair and I was pitching. So like, it's...
Did you go wild thing?
Yeah,
right. You make my heart sing.
That'd have been awesome, but unfortunately, no. But these were horror movies to me. It's like music. When you find a certain kind of music and you feel like you're not the only one, and you feel like this is something that you can have no matter what happens in the world. And that was a lot of horror movies for me. It was something that I held very, very important to my life. And like when I run into someone and they have a horror movie t-shirt on, I'm like, oh, rad, cool. Like I can instantly talk with them. I instantly know I will have something in common with them. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are nuts. There are crazies in all subgroups, but I've run into people who are like, yeah, man, I named my kid Freddy. And I'm like,
Right. So that brings me back to what I was going to ask you a second ago. But first of all, I just love the idea of like some politician somewhere who's about to give some fucking order. And he's like, Freddy Krueger killed 20 kids. I get 20 before lunch.
Is there only 20? Fucking amateur.
Fucking 20. We're not hiring him. CIA can't use you. We need more. No, but I like this idea of the tattoos. And I want to push it like to its logical, strange conclusion, which is, what if people took the murder scenes of your favorite horror movies and tattooed like dead Tina on their back? Dude, now we're starting to get a little weird. Like, where do we draw the line? I guess to Jack's point,
To me, I agree. If someone had like the body bag with the fucking centipede coming out of her mouth, which I've actually seen on people, And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's cool, but I'm like, that's a little much. Like, she's in the body bag. I'm like, your art has to be separate at some point.
Extreme. Fucking
I'm not enough of a rebel, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
not cool enough.
I'm not.
You're just vanilla horror fan.
Well, I used to get that when I first went to horror conventions because I was
please.
really into like the classics, like black and white, and a lot of Hammer horror. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
Basil Rathbone.
Yes. If I wasn't wearing like a Leatherface shirt or a Nightmare on Elm Street shirt, people were like, "Oh, that's weird. That's lame." I'm like, no, I like both. I like many things. I am a multifaceted person. I can like many things, and that's okay.
To think of the lowest rung of gatekeeping somebody is
Dude,
hilarious to me.
It's such a real thing. It's such a real thing. Like old
How many
message
people
boards.
did Voorhees kill in part 3? Fucking leave if you don't know.
There was a lot of that. There was
God, Jesus Christ.
there was like, if you don't see these like flops where they fucked up and you can see the wires for the lighting in Halloween, you're a piece of shit. I'm like, well, damn, dude. I just like the movie. I don't dissect everything.
You like the movie? You like the movie? You do?
Yes.
With your Voorhees tattoo? You.
I don't know.
It's funny.
It's strange. But
It's weird.
when did you first see this? Did you see it back
Too
in
young,
the day?
dude. These movies fucked me up.
Yeah, I mean,
These movies fucked me up. Nightmare was way too young for Nightmare, dude.
what would you say, like 10 or earlier?
Yeah, probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Couldn't sleep. Thought about death. Started to worship Freddy. No, I'm kidding. But no,
You've got all these
it's-
butter knives taped to your hands. Your parents like, what the fuck?
I did tape shit to my fingers to run around going, "I'm Freddy, woohoo!" And then they filmed me with Thorazine and locked me up for a while. No, they were like, "Oh, he's just a kid. That's what kids do. Kids want to be all kinds of shit, you know."
Well,
I wanted to be Freddy, Batman. I wanted to be Wolverine at one point. I mean, taping. I used my Freddy finger claws for fucking Wolverine too. It was perfect.
yeah, it works the same.
It
Absolutely.
works the same. Yeah. No, but I think what scared me most about it, and I know this is a subject we've talked about before, so I don't want to repeat this content, as it were, but repeat content while repeating content. But the idea of his delight in death.
Yes.
You know, he's not the land shark that is Mike Myers, right? He's not Jaws just doing Jaws just being Jaws. Freddy's like, I'm gonna delight in your torment. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes. Even in the first one, he's like, I'm gonna get you. He's just having
Freddy's
fun.
coming.
Yeah, I love that because we grew up watching all these movies. Leatherface doesn't talk. Michael Myers doesn't talk. Jason Voorhees doesn't
Squeals.
talk. Yeah, like a pig, you know. But Freddy was the first one who could you could kind of have a conversation with him. Be like, bro, you don't want to do this, man. And he's just like licking his lips at you. You're like, all right, weirdo, all right. Hope I can wake up.
He definitely was a creep. you know?
Wicked creep. I'll be honest with you. You know what scared me the most of this entire movie?
The
We're
body
seeing
bag.
it right on the screen. Tina in the fucking body
It's
bag.
horrifying, dude. The body bag is terrifying. That's the scariest thing to me too. And I think probably what scared me most about it is the fact that I realized that people got put in bags when they were killed.
Yes,
It's weird.
Yes,
Right? There are
I
these
didn't-
weird things that I had this revelation on. And I was like, that's what fucks me up about this.
I thought when people died, they just went into the fucking box. You know, the next time you see them, they're already getting ready to be buried. They don't tell you that they clean up the blood, like their bloody death scene, and put them in a plastic bag. That freaked me the fuck out. A lot of the time when I
freaky.
watch these scenes, especially with them in the hallway, and you see your blood trail, I used to like cover my eyes when I was little. I could deal with Freddy menacing, that was fine, but the body being dragged by an invisible Freddy freaked me out.
Do you know why? Because there's something very real about body bags and people being dragged in them, right? There's a reality to that that's scary compared to, like, say, Freddy himself.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you die in your home, what do you think they do to you? They put you in a bag, they drag you, then they put you out. Everyone has that kind of thing, and it's kind of at the end of our lives, and it's terrifying. Anything that reminds me of my own mortality as I get older, especially, is more creepy to me than like a dude coming at me with a chainsaw.
Yeah. There were parts of this, though, that did scare me. And this gets back to that thing I talked about when we were discussing, I think, A24 movies, like the idea of your senses rejecting something that would occur, right?
Yeah.
Like when she bumps into the girl and then the girl's like, no running in the hallways with Freddy's voice. That was scary to me as a kid.
Yeah.
Retrospectively, it's kind of silly because the girl in pigtails with a claw, but that freaked me out. So it's interesting seeing things that were really scary to me as a kid that are less scary to me now, you know? And some things are more scary to me now than when I was a kid.
We'll see, like little things too that you just don't, that go over your head. When I was a kid watching this, I didn't understand why her parents had such contempt for each other, and then come to find out they were separated. You know, like I had no idea. Right. I'm like, wait, they did not live together?
Yeah, but, I mean, she's a drunk.
I mean, yeah, there's so much of these movies that are, this was
so
like...
The question becomes, is she a drunk because of what she did? Because she was party to murder?
That's the thing. That's some people think is the fact that she had something major to do with it and she can't handle it. And that's what destroyed their relationship, was the fact is they couldn't handle what they had done. Right. I mean, to be honest with you, like, without trying to be a tough guy, do you think if you got your hands on someone who was murdering children, could you live with that? I think I could.
I'm sure I would have your standard PTSD of snatching somebody's soul away, but I don't think I think that would bother me, keeping me up at night or whatever. But I don't think I would feel tremendous guilt about ridding the world of somebody who was killing kids.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, and I don't know that has nothing to do with being a tough guy. I think that's tribal, real shit. People fucking up kids, doing some shit to them, and you get rid of that person. I think you're just kind of protecting the tribe. I think that's primal. I think that's normal, to be honest with you. You know, you're playing with trash on stream, you freak.
Sorry, I forget we're
this fucking guy, fucking ADD guy over here.
Wicked bad. Like, you know it, for real.
No, I do know it. Believe me. I forgot what I was saying. I have it so bad. It'll get me back. Anytime I forget.
Yeah, just go back to just wiggle your tongue.
No, but you were talking about the guilt. Like, in other words, we're talking about Nancy's mom, right? She fucked up Freddy with a bunch of them. And she's maybe a drunk because of it. Maybe, I don't know, man. It's tough to say. It's tough to say how anybody would be in any situation, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope like you get over it, but I think you wouldn't be. I think it would fuck with you. It would mess with you. Even if he was a monster, you're like, yeah, I still shouldn't have done it. Because it's weird. We have that weird thing about us where we have the capacity to kill, and we did it for thousands of years to ensure our survival, but we still carry it with us. Like it's a travesty for our humanity to kill another human, unless you're like a sociopath. But it's weird. It's weird that we have that like dichotomy, that like the back and forth of like, I if I get in trouble, something happens in my brain and I forget what I'm doing, or I don't feel what I'm doing, and I murder someone, I beat someone to death with my bare hands. But now I'm gonna feel remorseful for it after, which is so strange that we have both.
Yeah, I think that's being a human, dude.
Yeah.
But I think too, like, to your point, this idea of like, and that's why I think we find any crime against children and women more abhorrent for some reason. And I think that's just because we're trying to protect the longevity of the tribe, because, women make people. And I think there's something really deeply ingrained in us. And I know, patriarchy, this or that, but like men have always been disposable in history, like through warfare, etc. You know what I mean? But I think, you see a dude get killed, a soldier get killed, you're like, that fucking sucks. But if you see women get fucking blown up, you're like, fuck, dude. Yeah. I don't know why. That could be a type of thinking that's going away. Maybe we're going to see it all as death is equal and great and wonderful, but children especially, they're innocent. They don't know shit. They're not fully developed. They don't know how to be. You can just blow up 12-year-olds,
Yeah, I think it's and women are, we all have everyone has a mother. And I think that's the thing. I think it's also like thousands of years of evolution about protecting the weaker people that are weaker than you physically.
And what's funny about the evolution part about that, and strangely enough, this will relate to Freddy Krueger, is that it's funny to think how short a time, how long, like you were saying, but just really think about that for a minute, how long people have been killing each other and or killing out of self-defense or whatever for such a long time, how death is so close to everybody always, and how in a very short order it suddenly wasn't. But that programming's still fucking there.
We're still there. I mean, look at it today. We have in our
give
modern
a
day.
caveman a Casio. He's still a fucking caveman. Like that's what we are. We got these tech toys, but we're still that fucking beast in a way.
Yeah. It's the whole thing about like, our modern amenities have changed our lives, but our brains have not caught up. Our instincts have not caught up yet, and it may never catch up because we've grown so quickly as far as everything else.
Yeah,
it's strange.
It's weird. It is weird. I mean, there's all kinds of weird contradictions within us. You know,
that's what makes us awesome, though, and terrible.
It is. You're right. You're definitely right about that. And I think that's, getting back to Freddy's crimes, killing kids, obviously is going to put him in a pretty strange headspace, right?
Yeah, for
Luckily,
real.
he's not, I mean, to me, they're kids. If they're saying if Tina's supposed to be 15, I think she's fucking 20. But if Tina's supposed to be 15, that's a kid to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
An annoying teenager, but that's still a child.
Yeah, you still know shit.
Still killing children, but so is Jason Voorhees and so is fucking... And I'm not saying that makes any of them right, but again, we're talking movies here. It's not like he's standing outside a schoolyard and going after 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody's going to watch that. In fact, killing kids is so fucked that we're not even going to watch it. If you make a movie about killing kids, no one's watching that movie.
Nope. I think there's one Friday the 13th where their kids are actually at the camp. The rest of them are not. And
yeah,
he doesn't,
I know. It was just on.
Yeah, he menaces a couple of them, but he doesn't touch them because that's a no-no.
Yes. And that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I
would not want to watch it.
And I'm sure, like, fucking slashing up. I mean, how shocking must Psycho have been? He's slashing up some lady in the shower. That's nuts.
At the time, people fainted. People fainted in the movie theater because it was so like, oh my God, look at all the blood. Look at all the blood.
Yeah.
And
just the audacity to do such a thing.
It was just chocolate syrup. That's all it was. That's what they used.
Anthony Perkins didn't kill her.
Nope. He's just dousing her ready. He's like, here, we got ice cream. He's just throwing syrup on her.
Speaking of AIDS, he died of AIDS. Did you know that?
Yeah. Like he died in the 80s, right? The
he was
late
like,
80s.
I think he was just 60 when he died.
Because I remember seeing him in like Psycho 3, I think.
2 and 3. Yeah. I remember him in the 80s in color pictures. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no, I think I think Freddy Krueger movie doesn't work if you're like Freddy Krueger movie doesn't work if you're like he's going to kill kids in this movie and we're going to watch. Right?
Yeah.
How many of us suck the cock of like Darth Vader? The dude destroyed planets of children.
Yeah, and he killed younglings, bro, like with his own lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a perfect. That movie, I think those movies were so goofy that by the time he's killing younglings, I'm just kind of laughing in the theater.
Yeah, you're already checked out.
Because I'm like, this is just dumb. Like,
Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? There's too many of them.
Master Skywalker. How's it gonna go down?
He's just like, he's got his like, he turned the lightsaber off, but he's got his hilt and he's like wiping it off on his, he's like, oh, the fucking splatter. Jesus Christ.
Master Skywalker, what are we gonna do?
Oh, shit.
It's making me think of fucking Freak on a Leash now. I went, I did that the other day. I was doing Freak on a Leash. And Marsha was like, what was that noise? We just watched Nightmare. She goes, did you hear that noise? And she comes upstairs and I go, you mean this one? Freak on. And then I went, go!
Yes!
Fuck, dude.
Oh, we're showing our fucking old age there. Whew.
Freak on a Leash? Corn's sick, dude. Come on now. Corn's badass. No, but the stuff with that's what I mean, like, right? Governor Tarkin, he blew Balderan.
Yeah.
He killed all the kids. There's like a million kids.
I think there's more than a million. I had a whole planet, like fucking 50 billion people were just, their lights were just snuffed out in a moment.
Like, oh, they redeemed Vader. That's so beautiful. And I'm just looking at the resume of his murders.
They got Space Nuremberg. They're like got him on charges. Like we have found you guilty of 7 billion deaths.
They unfurl his rap sheet.
Yeah. He's like, I'm too old to stand trial. Can't you hear my respiratory problems?
He's in the courtroom like Corrado Soprano. A fake invalid.
He's got the tubes in his mouth and the little holes in his fucking...
So the nature of this trial and my client. Vader's just sitting there all weak and shit. But I have a redeemed... Try that shit with Freddy Krueger, see how that goes down. Freddy Krueger's been redeemed, right? He's now like a counselor, bringing kids on field trips.
He did 5 years, and now he's
on a
he speaks out against other child murderers.
You file out at the fucking museum. Anybody acts up, I'll kill you. Just kidding. Freddy Krueger, you're a nut. I'm so glad you've reformed. Thanks to Luke Skywalker in his one hand. You can bring my children to the Boston Museum of Science now. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ. Dude.
Freddy Krueger's watching my kids.
That's a real thing, though. It's a good point you brought up, because it is weird what we choose to be okay with and we're not.
Yeah, and that's just... Dude, it is. But the reality is we can't be perfect moral beings. So we're going to pick and choose, and that's okay. That's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
but it's worth pointing out, hey, maybe this doesn't necessarily logically track, you know?
Yeah. Let's just enjoy it. But have you ever seen the first episode of Freddy's Nightmares, the TV show?
I didn't see any Freddy's Nightmares. When was it? Remind me. I don't know anything about this.
Freddy's Nightmares was like an anthology, like creep show or whatever, right?
Okay. Did he do cute puns?
He did. He would be like
cutting
the opener.
Up the competition.
He'd be like, "Welcome to my fucking nightmare." Like,
did he swear?
No, because it's on TV. But like
that'd be funny. Well, beep, nightmare.
Yeah, right.
They won't let me swear, but I'm gonna chop up some kids.
It was on TV for 2 years. They did a ton of them. And a ton of people were on it. Brad Pitt before he was anyone. So
just
many
a hot
people
guy
on
with
that
abs.
Show. Just a hot guy, beautiful man. But the pilot episode was done by Toby Hooper, and was his trial. It was Freddy Krueger's trial, and then it was like and he's in a box, and they won't let you can kind of see his face, but not really. He's in the shadow.
Like a Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, kind of. They're like, this monster can't be let free. And they find out that something was signed wrong and they let him go. And Nancy's dad and all the other cops are like, we were supposed to uphold the law. He's like, yeah, but the law let us down. So they show him like being burned alive.
Sounds like a comic book.
Yeah, it was
like
actually
a graphic novel, you know?
It was done very well. I mean, if you guys get a chance or you get a chance, watch the first one. They go crazy. It looks, those shows, all the other ones they had for those 2 seasons, there was a copious amount of cocaine on set at all times. There had to have been, because they're bonkers. They're bonkers. But I love it. But I love the backstory on it. You know, that he was a murderer. And he was freed on a technicality. So all the neighborhood parents, all the people who played racquetball and paid their taxes and had missionary sex once a week. The 80s. And they just murdered this man in their neighborhood and then hid his remains. And then you think about this, like you wonder how much of this actually happened. Like, do you think that happened?
Well, that's how they caught Richard Ramirez, man. Fucking frontier justice. People beat him down and caught him.
Yeah, they were trying to they set up a trap, right, or something. I remember seeing something.
I don't remember if they spotted him and then they rushed him and beat him, but
yeah, they
cool
caught
story.
him with a bunch of people. I do remember that.
Yeah,
but it's creepy to think about, like, these people who are just these people that are just normal people that are 9-to-5ers, and all of a sudden, you upset the herd and they're out there murdering for their little tribe, which I love.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, because what a crazy conspiracy. So what would you do?
Would I murder someone that murdered
No,
kids?
what if a guy gets off on a technicality and then a bunch of people come to you and they're like, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kill this guy. What would you do?
To be honest, I think if it was they hurt someone I loved, I'd join them.
Yep.
However, if it wasn't anyone I hurt, and this is maybe me being a little selfish, I would say, hey, I'm not going to step in your way and I'm not going to say a thing. You guys do what you got to do.
Now we got to kill you.
Yeah, right. Wait, I don't have any finger knives.
That's how those things get out of control, though, right? One guy's like not in on it, then they're nervous. He's going to rat, so they got to kill another guy to keep them all safe, and then they convince themselves it's the right thing. It's very messy.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
I don't think I would do it. Once he got off by law standards, and time had been passed, and there was a trial, and I don't know, like you probably, had he killed one of my nephews or some shit, that'd be a different story, you know?
Yeah.
But I'd be like, dude, I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to trade my life for his, because that's what you're doing, right? You're taking a piece of shit off the planet, but condemning yourself to go to jail. Because after he gets off legally, you're fucked. You're going to jail.
But here's the thing. Got to remember that we got to think of it in the same grasp of Freddy. The police were in on it. No one was going to jail.
Hang 'em high, motherfucker.
Yep. None of them were going to jail. The police chief was the dude who hid his remains. So you think about who's going to, what, the FBI to come in for a child murderer? Maybe for a week and then take off. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be at least I would hope that they wouldn't spend that much time. I mean,
I think what would make Freddy Krueger even more interesting would be that if he didn't do it and they murdered him and now he's getting revenge.
Well, that's the
That
remake.
would be fucking cool.
Have you seen the remake at all?
The one with Rorschach playing Rorschach and Freddy makeup?
Yes.
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 The city sucks. I hate the gays. That's what he does. And that's Rorschach, you know.
But that's the whole thing of that movie is that the kids have this feeling that they were molested, and the parents try to tell him. He goes, no, they don't. They're like, he didn't. Their whole thing is, it's kind of like a red herring. Did he do it or didn't he do it? Did you murder a innocent man? And at the end, you find out he was actually worse than the Freddy in the first one, because they actually make him a child molester in that one. And
In the remake.
In the remake. And that's one of the reasons that movie flopped, because it made everyone horribly uncomfortable to watch it.
Exactly. Okay, then that's the thing, right? That makes complete sense, right?
Yeah.
You made him, like, was he that way? But you don't see him that way on camera, thank God.
No.
It's
you don't
just
see any of it.
disgust. But is it disgust on them in the movie?
Yeah, that he touched them, and he's like, "You were my favorite girl, like my little favorite girl."
Oh, that ruins Freddy.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. There's no hero worship in that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's weird. Again, like, I'm cool with this guy being a murderer of teenagers, but if he's like, fucking them or touching them, or I'm like, get him out of here.
Yeah, I know.
Get gasoline and light him up.
It's crazy. Yeah, you can't. You touching the kids, we can't stand them. Killing the kids, we'll tattoo them on our body. It's weird. It's weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, so that makes sense. See, I didn't realize the remake was that way.
Yeah, and it flopped so bad. That and because they used too much CG. He looked kind of like a burned up chipmunk man, and he's very short. He's like 5 foot.
Is he that little?
Yeah, he's got to be.
You're making shit. He's like 4'8".
Yeah, he's like a Warwick Davis from Willow. He's
Matt Modigan. You are really tall. What'd you say? You are great.
You are great. I'm the greatest swordsman that ever lived.
I think the producer has something to say.
He's 5'5".
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He's 5'5". Fair enough.
So they had to shoot him literally against women with like a box under him, because he was just too small. He wasn't imposing.
Tom Cruise platforms.
Yeah. 6-inch platforms. Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
but Tom Cruise not even that. He's like 5'9".
Yeah, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny to think that Krueger becomes, like you said, that show, what was it called again?
Freddy's Nightmares?
Freddy's Nightmares. He almost becomes a victim of his own success. Like he almost becomes a parody of himself, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But no, I like the idea of the origin story, but I think it would be really cool if he was innocent and then they...
Yeah, and they burned him anyway, and then he came back for revenge. That's kind of cool.
To kill their kids.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. like to kill the kids of those people instead of just those people.
That was the thing in the original 3. I think he was only killing the people that their parents had. He was visiting the parents' sins.
Right. So they take it upon themselves to murder him. So he's murdering their kids from beyond. Essentially.
Yep. He comes back to enact his revenge, which is kind of cool. And then later in part 4, the Kristen from part 3 gives one of the newer girls her powers to bring people into her dreams, and she brings everyone in on accident because she's new with it. And then
Parquet, what's her name?
No, she was part 3, but in part 4, it's someone else that plays it.
Different girl, yeah, girl.
Her name is Tuesday Night. She's a singer.
Why can't I think of this girl's name?
Which
Arquette.
girls?
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
Arquette.
What the fuck am I saying? Patricia Arquette. Yeah. Love her with her crooked little teeth. She's cute.
Yeah.
That Dream Warrior. It's funny because I watched 1 and then I watched I know you're a fan of 2, and maybe I gotta give 2 another honest watch. But I watched 3 again recently, or at least I had it on. I was like, man, this is gritty and scary. Because I had watched 4 right before that on your recommendation, and I really like it, by the way.
It's really good. It's really good. The number 2 is just it's a terrible movie. It's just terribly fun and it doesn't have anything to do with any of the other movies. Because they were trying to figure out... I was wondering
that. There's nothing.
They were trying to figure out the lore. You know, they don't...
Right,
he's in and out of the dreams. How scary is Freddy when he comes up and ruins your barbecue? Not that scary.
Yeah, come to find out.
Yeah.
If he's just a guy with burned flesh and he's like a shorter in stature and he just has knife hands on one hand and there's a barbecue of 20 dudes, they're like, well, I think we can get him.
You're done.
I think I can get a ladder and we can rush him or something, you know?
Yeah, right? Just beat him in the head with a beer and then charge him.
Indeed. Back on the subject of the first picture, though, I think this movie, it's just so tight, man. It doesn't waste any time. And I think it moves right along the path. It starts with the opening incident to introduce us to Freddy making the glove. We get that sense of who he is, and it moves from point to point to point. And I think it's just such an easy watch. You know, it doesn't linger too long.
No, it's right into it. You see him making his tools, but you're only seeing little bits of him making tools. You hear him breathing real heavy and and then before you know it, Tina's asleep. She's in her dream. You see a couple sheep. You hear little scritchy scratches on the pipes, and she cuts. You know, she gets her nightgown cut by him, and then she asks her friends to come over because she's scared of the nightmare. And so her friends Glenn and Nancy. And Rod shows up because she's Tina's hot ass boyfriend who's got a leather jacket and no shirt underneath. So you know that dude can fuck.
Yeah, he's 27.
Yeah, right.
She's 15. That's definitely a crime. Nobody talks about that crime.
No, those are fine in the 80s. You guys got we got her bed. You guys got the rest. It's like, oh, okay. And they're screaming like they're porn stars. She's screaming like a porn star.
Can you imagine? 15.
I'm like,
what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, right. I'm like, I'm nervous. Am I doing it right?
Squeezing the base of that thing.
And then, then she wakes up and she's getting thrown through the air, being ripped apart, and then being dragged along the walls. Now, do you know how they did that? I had to look up how they did that. The whole room rotates, including the outside light.
Awesome.
What a fantastic a way to do that.
And they shoot Rod just outside the room, right?
Yeah, like he's back, so he's looking, he's got his arm up. He's like, Tina, and all of a sudden she's got cuts all over and she's dead. He books it, and then because obviously, which is another cool thing the story does, is gives you anyone who doesn't know that Freddy's there, like any other characters, any other actors, know that they're gonna think it's Rod because he's already a punk. He's known for having knives, and now she's dead and he's gone. So the
leather jacket
guilty.
Comes with a knife.
Yeah, right.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, one or the other. You get your switchblade with the jacket or without. But that's a kind of cool thing that the movie does too. It doesn't allow you to think like, oh, there's if it was just people being cut apart and they were just standing there and they were fine, you wouldn't have that kind of like pull on the story where it shows like, oh, it could be Rod. It could have been Rod. And even Nancy doesn't believe Rod when she goes to visit him at the jail in the beginning. She's like,
Yeah,
how
of
could
course.
she goes, how could you not know there was someone else under the bed with you? He's like, somebody cut her while I watched.
His fucking lines in this movie, man.
So good. And before you know it, before any questions can be asked, Freddy straight up fucking hangs Rod in the jail cell.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't give you sheets, guys. And they don't let you keep your shoelaces.
The one crime I'll forgive him is him off and Rod.
He was just a street tough who just, he was just troubled.
He was a troubled street tough.
Yeah. And you gotta remember that like
I'm warning you.
Yeah, exactly. There's a scene where Nancy's being followed by cops and she doesn't know that she's being followed.
It's great.
And Rod grabs her and he's like, I didn't do it. Well, did you see who did? She's like, no. And he's like, don't I look at me like I'm some kind of fucking fruitcake or something? I'm warning you. And then all of a sudden her dad comes out with like the biggest fucking hand cannon I've ever seen right up against his head.
Dude's like, I sparred Bruce Lee. I will fuck you up, dude.
I don't need these bullets. These bullets are just for
He just died
convenience.
recently, huh? A couple
Yeah.
years back. Yeah. No, but I like it's funny because that all of the way it's set up, you keep getting a little bit more information about Freddy too, and that's one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie. It starts with he's in your dreams, and then we realize, oh my God, those cuts are on her dress. That's weird. Maybe she did it herself. There's still possible doubt there. And that not until we realize that you can really be harmed while sleeping does this become a really terrifying idea. And just that whole idea is very scary to me because you're asleep. You can't really control what's happening in your dream. You're at the whim of whatever's happening in your dream. Now imagine if you were in the dream where somebody else had control and could harm you. That's a really scary and cool idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And it keeps escalating. I think Nancy burns her arm at one point, and then they pull the hat through, and suddenly we're like, whoa, they can bring them through between realms. Just neat. A cool lore and world building without getting into over explanation. As the characters discover the world, so do we. It's not like they go to a library and they read a passage and they get a flashback, right?
Yeah.
As they discover, we discover, and that's awesome.
So lean and it's so well written, and it's there's reasons why there's so much love for this movie because it establishes things so quickly. You learn a little bit at a time, so it's not like an information dump. Like you said, there's no flashbacks. It's just she finds out that when her mother takes her to a sleep clinic and she's having kind of a seizure in her sleep, and she wakes up and she's got the hat, and she's like, it even has his hair. Yeah, she's getting stressed out. She's going too long without sleep. Mm-hmm. And she's just
Fred Krueger, Mom. Fred Krueger.
Do you know who this is? Because you better tell me, because he's after me now. And and then her mother says, Fred Krueger can't hurt you anymore.
Yeah.
But she doesn't tell her why yet.
Yeah.
Because, would you keep that kind of...
Would you
keepsake?
Keep claws in your furnace?
Yeah, right?
That were used to puncture children's hearts?
That's
what the
saying.
Fuck, lady? No wonder she's a drunk. The claw's talking to her at night. Put me on, lady.
That's some dark shit. It's like when you go to the Viet Cong and you got a bunch of ears hanging around your neck. Like, I killed this guy in Da Nang, this guy in the Hanoi Hilton. Like, and you're totally cool with it. She's just like, yeah, I got it. But she's not. She's actually struggling with the whole thing.
I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Fucking Dolph Lundgren. That voice of his.
His deep baritone. Yeah.
It's weird to keep the claws in your furnace, dude.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you just do that with with the rest of his body? You wouldn't keep it. There'd be no reason. That'd be like the bad juju when people take stuff from like ancient sites and then they ship it back. They're like, oh no, my family was murdered by an axe murderer last year because I brought a rock back from Rome. Like, damn, dude.
You think so? You think there's some bad juju there?
I think so. I think
Damn,
it
that
definitely
scares me. I got a bowl upstairs from the Amazon. It was
You're fucked.
handcrafted. Do you think I should get rid of it?
No, I think it was handcrafted. It wasn't like stolen. If it was made by someone who there.
Oh
you should
no, it
find
was bought with American dollars.
Oh,
I can
okay.
assure you. My mom bought it in like fucking Ecuador or some shit. I don't know where she was.
Shit.
But
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Have I ever told you that I've been to the house?
I've
I've
seen
been
the
to
image
Freddy's
of you
house?
standing outside it. Did you get pulled through the window like a dummy
Yeah,
at the end?
I got sucked through the little window like a little marionette doll. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now they have bushes up because the people who own it are just tired of weirdos like me in their fucking yard, and I can't blame them.
Yeah, that is kind of weird because it's not far from the street.
No, it's actually, I won't say the name of the actual street, but it's between Sunset and Rodeo Drive in LA, so you can figure it out.
Were you
Also,
rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun?
yeah, hell yeah.
Nice.
And that's the same neighborhood, like 2 streets over, is where they filmed the original Halloween. So they're all like the little suburbs right near LA. Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
cool. But what's the scariest shit in this movie to you? Is it Tina?
It's Tina in the body bag for sure. And like the helplessness of watching her being thrown around and just watching her just being slashed over and over again, and she's screaming and Rod's screaming and they're all trying to get in the room. You know, that's just terrifying. It's just because she's so young and you know she's moaning like she's 40 in a Jenna Jameson film from the 80s, but I mean, other than that, she's pretty innocent.
She really has a command over her sexuality at 15.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious at best.
Yeah. As you should be.
One of the scariest things to me is when mom actually pulls the claw out of the fucking furnace. Because suddenly it creates this temporal reality of like him.
Yeah. Like
As
it's
opposed
not,
to just being in your dreams. Suddenly he's a real guy to me. And the fact that mom had it, I remember getting goosebumps as a kid when she shows Nancy the fucking claws. I'm like, oh God, why do you have that?
that makes it real. That makes it real because she has no idea this. She doesn't know if they could die. She's still kind of on the fence if this guy can hurt me.
Yeah.
You know, she knows Tina died, but that's not you. So she has no idea. But then when her mother's like, you don't need to worry about him because mommy killed him.
Yeah,
And here's his
absolutely.
glove. I even took his knives. It's like, fuck, that's real. That's
Do you wanna
real. You
listen?
made, yeah, absolutely. You
You
made it
wanna listen to
real.
this shit? All right, here we go.
Did they put him away? Oh, the lawyers got fat and the judge got famous, but somebody forgot to sign the search warrant in the right place, and Krueger was free just like that. What did you do, Mother? A bunch of us parents tracked him down after they let him out. We found him in an old abandoned boiler room where he used to take his kids. Go on. Took gasoline. We poured it all around the place and made a trail of it out the door. Then lit the whole thing up and watched it burn. But he can't get you now. He's dead, honey, because Mommy killed him.
And by the way,
I even took his knives.
so gives me goosebumps.
So's okay now.
Yeah, no problem. It's fine. Mom.
Everything's fine. Go lay down. You'll be fine. You won't have terrifying nightmares. Oh, wait, you already are having them.
And the worst part, honey, that they didn't tell you, was that when we burned Freddy alive in his house with Frontier Justice, there was 12 other children in there, and they died too. And that's why Mommy's is fucking drunk right now. Not only did we kill Freddy, we killed 12 other children. We burned them all alive in the name of justice. That's the risk you take, right? You should indiscriminately burn down the whole place? Who's in that place?
Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, honey.
Or all of the eggs. Instead of making an omelet, honey, we just threw the eggs out the window. God damn.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Johnny Depp's first movie appearance?
Yes, his first movie appearance. Hell yes.
Kid's
And
a natural.
He really was a natural. I mean, he did this and like Crybaby right after it. And that was before he became like a household name. He's a baby.
Well, he
look
blew-
how
when-
young he is.
Oh, he's a kid. He's got to be 18, right? When did
Yeah,
he do
right around.
21 Jump Street?
It was not too long after this, I don't think. Dude, that was a good show. I remember that.
I used to watch 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
Well, before we get to that answer, I want to go back to the creative decision with Freddy Krueger to change his backstory and the reasons why they changed his backstory. And I think Maja has some information about that. Am I putting her on the spot? I might be. Should I bring up your camera for this since you might be talking for a bit?
Sure.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, no, I just came across the fact that he was initially going to be a child molester, but Wes Craven decided to change it because at the time of the production, there was these very widely covered actual child molestation cases going on,
Yikes.
and he didn't want to be associated with that, like making publicity out of an awful actual thing going on. Except that I was like, what time did this happen? And I looked up the McMartin preschool case, which is basically the start of the whole like satanic ritual abuse craze that happened in the 80s.
Yikes.
So
it's it's McMartin.
McMartin, yeah,
Ugh. I don't like that.
your name in there.
Little close.
Yeah, so none of that actually happened. I'm sure that some of those kids actually might have gone through abuse because a lot of children unfortunately do, but the whole satanic abuse was not real. So yeah, there's the connection. That's why he was not a child molester originally. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, bizarre allegations. Some of the accusations are described as bizarre, overlapping with accusations that mirrored the emerging satanic ritual abuse panic. It was alleged that in addition to having been sexually abused, they saw witches fly, traveled in a hot air balloon, and were taken through underground tunnels.
Oh, these allegations are insane, and
Holy
people
shit.
believe them. And we're going to talk all about it on the Satanic Panic
I'll
episode.
save it. I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris was considered one of the abusers. They're just
What?
saying
Yeah,
people's names they see on TV.
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck?
Because they
Jesus.
were getting these testimonies out of small children who would obviously say anything if asked enough. Like, oh, were you taken someplace? Was there an altar?
like
was
leading the
there
witness?
Oh, yeah. They absolutely were leading these little children and asking like, oh, was it somebody you knew? And a kid is just gonna conjure up a name like fucking Chuck Norris. Like, oh yeah, that guy from TV.
He sidekicked me in the belly, and then that's the last I
It's
remember.
so stupid. It was crazy.
And it should be noted, you're not somebody who would ever not take the child's side in a situation like this based on your history. So,
Absolutely not.
yeah,
I mean,
that's wild.
child abuse absolutely happens, but the
Of course.
like satanic ritual abuse, I'm sure there's been some very few rare cases of something like that, but like a whole underground network of everybody around you being involved, it's not real.
Yeah,
Never
that'll be
was.
fun to talk about in the bonus up for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, the McMartin preschool trial, they called it, a sex
Jesus.
abuse case in the 80s, prosecuted by LA District Attorney Ira Reiner. McMartin family, who operated preschool in Manhattan, were charged with hundreds of acts of sex abuse. And they were made in 83. So yeah, would have been bad timing to be like, child killer Freddy Krueger, child molester, excuse me. Yeah, they went right to child killing, like I said. Just kill him.
Yep.
Just kill him. It's
Not as
easier
bad.
that way.
Totally fine, right?
Yikes. Anyway, but do you want to talk about? We've talked kind of in and or around the movie. I don't want to do a whole go through the whole movie thing because we're already like over an hour in, and we're kind of just hitting the main points that we need to hit. What else do you want to talk about as it relates to Freddy, the plot, or any of the filmmaking here? Do you want me to kill your cam, producer, or
Sure.
you're done? Okay.
There's an interesting part on this I wanted to talk about a little bit was the readily accessible information of the 80s about making weapons and bombs and self-defense.
Yeah, dude. Anarchist cookbook, right?
Yes, and I won't say for the FBI agent that's listening that I had it, but I've read
You've
it
seen
at
it.
some point. I've
You've
seen
seen it. We've all seen it.
And it's an interesting thing. It's a lot of knowledge for a 12-year-old boy to have. I'll tell you that.
Did you think that was a silly part of this movie? Was her taking the power back, or
No, the actual taking the power back at towards the end, I think is kind of a cool way to end it, sort
too.
of. But I do like that. She finds out that he becomes corporeal. He becomes a person in our world, and he has the same problems that we do.
Yep. And that's cool because we've seen her friend die in her dream, cut up in her dream,
Yes.
right? So, and then we know so her plan is pull him into our world. That's the plan.
She makes a plan with Glenn to wake me up. You got to come over and knock this guy out when I grab him, and we can end this.
Yes.
The only problem is that Glenn's parents think that Nancy is a fucking weirdo.
Yes.
And rightly so. I mean, to be fair, this is some boomer shit.
These are legit boomers.
They're like, those young kids, you just got to know how to talk to them. They just watched all their friends get murdered. Why aren't they toughening it up? Why aren't they pulling themselves up by their bootstraps?
Yeah.
And she just reaches out to go get Glenn, and the parents stonewall her, and she can't get a hold of him. Because remember, kids, this is before the time of cell phones, and
Right.
you only had a landline. And she's getting ready.
This
She
is
changes her.
pre-pager.
Yeah, right. Well, way by like 10, 15 years.
Mhm.
She's getting ready to do this, and she changes her clothes, and the phone rings. And it's like the screeching, the nails being dragged down,
Yes.
which is so unsettling. So unsettling. And then she rips the phone out and she's freaking out, and the phone rings again.
Right. And that's another thing about this movie that I love is I love with the transition between are you awake or are you asleep?
Yeah, and it's ambiguous because she's awake,
Right.
but Freddy has some kind of powers outside the dream world, which is weird because you got to remember that this is the first one. They don't have the rules set up yet.
Right. Because the rules do get a little confusing. So in the scene you're talking about where she rips the phone out sort of towards the end of the movie, is Freddy breaking the rules here? Is he now he's causing some kind of his magic, as it were, is reaching beyond the sleep realm?
Yeah, but it works because
The tongue phone, she's not sleeping there?
no, she's awake. But
All
I
right.
think I think that she's hallucinating some of this because she's been awake for like
That's another
7
question.
days. She's been awake for 7 days straight.
Which
And I
is
don't know about you, Dean. You ever try to stay awake
2
that
days.
long?
Yeah,
I've gotten
I don't think I ever hit 48 hours, but it's rough.
I barely made it 2 days, and I was dying.
Yeah, it's
I
brutal.
was like asleep at the riding my bike.
Yeah, there's I read this study once, and I've mentioned this on the show before, where they had sleep-deprived people, and they like had their eyes open. They kept them open like Clockwork Orange style,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like flashing lights at people and telling people to like hit this button when they saw the light. And like there were times where they'd miss like button pushes because they would be asleep with their eyes open because that's how fucking exhausted they were. So your eyes being shut is not necessarily a precursor to properly falling asleep if you're exhausted enough. And I just think that's nuts.
Your brain will pull you asleep if it needs it. And it's so weird that we don't have that long of a battery before we're like, yeah, we're going to put you to sleep. You have a sleep counter. Your brain keeps track of how many hours of sleep you get. If you skip 5 hours by the end of the week, it will try to make you catch them up. It will make you tired and sleep longer to catch up. It's so weird.
And that's the trap. You never can catch up. It's already in the past, right? You can't catch up on sleep. It's gone.
No.
Once it's gone, it's gone. I'm going to catch up on some sleep today, but you can't. That day's gone.
Oh.
You know?
It'll try,
It's
but
impossible. So
poor Glenn.
weird, sleepy, dreamy stuff. We had a couple of decent questions there. I want to ask you a couple of those questions if I can
All right.
remember what the fuck they are. It was, I want to say, Master of Rockets on Discord. On the subject of dreams, does anyone on the crew have a story of getting a dream deja vu where they find themselves in a situation that they have dreamed about? Have you ever been in a situation that you dreamed about? I dreamed about meeting my wonderful wife in person, and then it happened.
I've only had dreams that become deja vu. Like you dream something, and then 4 days later, 3 days later, you run into that same spot you were in your dream.
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, like that I've had a lot of.
Yeah,
I've
he's
had
saying
a lot of that.
you find yourselves in a situation that you dreamed about, or a place, I guess could be the same.
Yeah, I mean like standing in the same place, the exact same background, everything in my dream, and then a couple of days later I'll run. And then it will stop me dead in my tracks and I'll think about it for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? Like that weird, like, is this a dream? Am I asleep now? What's going on? It's weird how your brain does that to you. And I always wondered what causes it.
Dude, dreams are fucking wacky. I've never had any dreams like that. I had a dream where I thought I was awake once, but I wasn't. Have you ever experienced something like that?
I've had sleep paralysis, so I've had that.
Yeah, so have I, and so has Majin. I think we can all talk about our sleep paralysis experience if we want to.
Yeah.
Let me bring up the booth cam. So tell me about your sleep paralysis dream, Scott.
I have mine. Mine is like a boogeyman. Okay. It happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, I'm in my bed and I wake up, and I'm in my bed, and my room is blue, and it swirls with the ceiling. The ceiling's white, and it swirls
Is that
together.
The gummy or
No, that's so it's complete sober as a pope. And there is a person sitting in the corner, just sitting
now
there staring
you can't
at me.
move, correct? So
I
the
cannot move.
Sleep paralysis, as far as I know, is your brain wakes up before your body.
Yes,
so your body is still suffering from that paralytic enzyme or hormone that makes you not act out your dreams.
Yes.
Right? There's something in your brain that stops you from moving around. It's a self-paralyzing mechanic.
Yeah,
to where
it's
you don't get up
terrifying.
and act out your dreams all the time.
You don't run up and punch something because you had it in your dream. But it's been a reoccurring dream since I was like 5 or 6.
Recurring dreams are crazy, yeah.
Yeah, reoccurring paralysis, where I look over and there's just a person standing or sitting, and it's just a dark silhouette. Doesn't say anything to me, just staring at me. It used to scare me so bad I used to scream when I finally could, and my parents would come running in. Now I'm older and I'm just like, yeah, what's up, sleep demon? How you doing? I'm like, and I'm like, wake up, body. Come on, wake up. And it just, sometimes I can snap myself out of it. Most of the time I just go back to sleep.
Do you ever does it ever cause any kind of panic when you're awake but you can't move your body?
Absolutely.
It's if you feel paralyzed.
The first maybe 30 seconds of it is terrifying every time it happens because I think I'm dead. I think I'm like, is this it? Is this where I'm seeing my body? Am I going to heaven or whatever? Is this it?
Sure.
And then I'm like, oh wait, it's just happening again. My body will catch up. And I try to calm myself down.
Yeah. Maja's is the most intense, so I'm going to let her tell hers last.
All right.
But me, I've had sleep paralysis a couple times, and I remember the first time I ever had it, I was in my 30s. Like, it was crazy.
Shit. That must be scary then.
I was laying on a couch, and I had a view on like a stove that has, the overhead and that little light above the stove.
Yep.
And I remember waking up but not being able to move, and my eyes were fluttering. Like I couldn't fully open my eyes, and I could just see this beaming light coming from the stove, which is, I'm telling the story shittily, but that's ultimately what it was. But I didn't know what it was until I could awake. But I remember what I would do is, it was so scary that I would go like, and make that noise, which imagine if you're sleeping next to me. And I would try to wake myself up. Like I knew I was alive, but I couldn't move and I didn't know what was going on. And your perception's all fucked up. So the light looks weird. Things are strange. It is a semi-hallucinatory state, but I didn't ever hallucinate anything too weird. And then I would try to like wiggle my toes or wiggle my fingers. And then that would precipitate into moving my hand and or foot. And then kind of going and waking up. But that's usually what it would be. I guess sometimes I've gone back to sleep, but I always think it usually ends in me waking up and fully waking up and getting my body ambulatory again. I had it once, too, not that long ago, maybe 3 years ago. I was laying in bed and I was looking, and it was thundering and storming outside. I was living alone at the time. And I remember having a sleep paralysis and like not being able to move and then like feeling water on my face, which obviously was not real, but I thought it was because I looked to my right and the whole side of my house got ripped open and it was like thundering and lightning. Like the rain,
Shit.
it just ripped the fucking side of the house off. And I had sleep paralysis in that moment as I was waking up. That started to disappear into my wall again. But that carryover was super trippy. And I couldn't move. And I was doing the thing. I was going, like trying to like make a noise to get my mouth to open to say like, like it was weird. It's fucking creepy, man. It's a creepy feeling.
Scary.
Yeah, it's weird. How about you?
Well, I
Miss,
don't know.
I have the scariest dreams on the planet.
It's dreams, yeah, but after those, like the side of the house being ripped open, or Scott's recurring demon for many, many years, I don't think mine is that bad because that's horrifying. But I've had a few instances of sleep paralysis, and the most memorable one was that I woke up. It was like already light outside, and I just laid in my bed, couldn't move, and I was like, something's fucking wrong. I can't move. And I'm staring at the ceiling lamp in my room, and these massive, transparent ghost spiders start spilling out of the lamp. They're like these black but transparent, and they're just spilling all over the room and just start spreading all over. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna get me. They're gonna come close to me. But then it just started to fade away.
That's wild.
It was
Like,
pretty intense.
Seeing something.
Yeah,
that
yeah, that's the
intense.
only time I've seen something that isn't actually there.
But in terms of nightmares, while we're on the subject of nightmares, you've had some pretty wild
God.
fucking nightmares.
I mean, the
What's the scariest nightmare that you can recall
scariest? Oh,
without going into some trauma territory?
the problem is that I have very intense dreams, but I don't remember them for long enough. Like I'll remember it the next day, and then I'm texting you like this wall of text of like.
You send me a screenplay. I'm like, we should do something with this.
I know they're very cinematic. They're very realistic. Like I'll live years in a zombie apocalypse, for example, during one night, and I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Who am I?
Yeah.
What is this? But scariest. I wish I remembered, but I was thinking back because I knew this question would come up, and I remembered one. It's not even scary, or I mean it's scary, but not in the dream. I was just like, that's interesting. I was looking in the mirror at my face, and I was like, something is kind of weird, and I realized that I didn't have any eyeballs, and I was just like, I ran my fingers in the empty sockets. They were like dry, empty sockets, and I was just, I could feel the bones and all the insides there, and I was just pressing on it like, that's so weird. How come I can still see even though I don't have eyeballs?
That's so intense.
And before moving on from that, I wanted to answer Master of Rockets' question about the deja vu, because around the same time that I had the sleep paralysis and the ghost spiders, I had this recurring nightmare about something chasing me in my apartment and the lights going off. Like the light bulbs would like blow, or however you say that when they die.
That works.
Like one after another. Like I would run to a next room and try to put the lights on, and it would pop. And then it actually happened.
Jesus
And
Christ.
in that moment, like each light bulb
While you're
in
being
my
chased?
I wasn't being chased,
Okay.
but I was awake, and I was turning lights on. During one day, all of the lights in my apartment went, and I'm like, "Am I awake? Is
That's
this real?
wild.
Is this real?" That was crazy.
Yeah, that's not a recurring dream though. It's just something memorable that tracks to that dream deja vu he was asking about.
Yeah, no, I did have, like I always have, I have millions of different variations of something trying to get me in dreams.
Sure, of course. The TSA. Trying to send you back to Finland.
That's one that I had for the longest time than anything, that I would end up back in Finland and not be able to come back here, and then wake up crying and be like, oh my God, I'm here. So many times.
I had a lot of recurring dreams about tornadoes and shit like that. That's a common one for me. I don't know why. Tornadoes. A lot of tornado dreams. I had my mom chasing me on all fours with her head upside down dream. That's the scariest dream I ever had. No question. Yep.
The reoccurring one that I've had is that in my old house, I would come around the corner and there would be someone coming out of the doorway coming into the house, and they'd be swinging over their head a hammer, and they'd swing and hit me in the head every time. I had it
And
for
you'd
like,
wake up.
and I wake up just as it hit me in the head. And I had it for like 20 years. And it was, luckily, I don't live there anymore. So it's not happening and it's not like triggering whatever is causing it. So I can actually, I'm not having fucking panic attacks waking up thinking I'm dead or there's someone in my house.
If you don't dream, you go.
Yeah.
I wonder about dreams, man. Like, but could they, like, what the fuck are they? Just sort of a manifestation, an expression of fear. Obviously, in my just case, there's a lot of anxiety around, like, oh, am I going to get kicked out of America for some fucking crazy reason and not be able to be with my husband? Like, that's a fear and anxiety is triggering that manifestation. And then let's just like, I just like the idea of dreams as a storytelling device. Like, could a dream be guiding you on a path, like saying, oh, somebody was killed here by getting hit in the head with a hammer. That's why I keep having that dream. Like, I love that idea.
It's
It's creepy.
a question. Have you ever experienced time dilation in dreams? Like, to where you know that you've only been asleep for a minute, or like you just doze off for a minute and you have a full-blown dream that lasts for a long time?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that happens.
It's weird because I've tried to look it up and it's like, oh, that doesn't happen. I'm like, yeah, it does. Everyone I've talked to is like, I've experienced that.
Yeah. I would have like a dream, like I'd fall asleep and I would like, I looked at the clock and it was like 11:15 and I'll wake up at like 11:45 and I felt like I would dream the entire night. Like a whole story went on.
Yeah.
Like, that's very common for me. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And then there's times where you have those dreams that something's happening in real life in the moment that transfers into your dreams. Like I had that, there was a banging on the door once and the banging was something I was dreaming and I was like, oh, somebody's banging on the door and I fucking woke up. Like your dream manifests the creation around the sound. Even though you're unconscious, sound still enters your ear, right? Sound waves are still entering they're still getting into your brain as
they're still being picked up. Absolutely.
So your brain's doing something with those sounds that you're not conscious enough to hear, so to speak. And it conjures up this fucking dream, which is wild. But no, man, back to, that's good shit. I appreciate that. But back to sort of the end of this movie with Nancy and her sort of weird Home Alone, Nightmare on Elm Street moment. Right.
Yep. She makes like a trap for Freddy and she grabs onto him. She has the most advanced 1984 Timex watch I've ever seen.
No shit. That talks.
10 minutes remaining. I remember being a kid. I'd be like, where can I get one of those? Well, that was awesome. And so she grabs.
Have 7 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Mother, I've turned the cooling system back on.
ETA 15 minutes.
Hell yeah. You had Lance Henriksen in your phone in 1984. But sorry, she sets up, she's been reading the self, traps and booby traps and improvised home defense. And dude, I'll tell you.
How to make IEDs in your house.
Yeah. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I think Freddy would be done after the fucking sledgehammer to the sternum.
Gut. So shit. I first of all, Nancy's in an impossible situation, right? Because Nancy, no one's going to believe that something's killing her in her dreams, right? People are going to just assume that Rod killed Tina and they're going to go on with their lives. And they're going to assume he was guilty, so he hanged himself. Nobody's going to believe anything she's saying. So she's in a really difficult position and that's why she's so desperate for Glenn to help. And Dad, when you hear me screaming, come over. It takes so much screaming for them to finally come over. But just this idea that the movie has created, that Nancy's the main character, and the movie's not going to take away her glory moment. And that's one of the things I really enjoyed about Nightmare is the end of this movie. They don't take away that fucking glory moment. They let her, like, Nancy's such an active character. Like, she's like, I know that things happened to Nancy for a while, but then she's like, okay, I'm going to try stuff now. And that makes her really cool to me. Like, I've never thought about the Nancy character too much, but I do like her a lot. I think she's a good character.
Well, she's great, and one of the things we have to mention is the fact that her mother had bars put on all the doors and windows, so she can't get out. When she gets Freddy going, she can't get out, and so she sets up all these traps and even catches Freddy on fire. Which, a side note here, which to me looks like, I think it might be one of the longest fire sequences because it's not in slow motion.
No.
Freddy runs around the stairs, goes up the stairs, falls down the stairs, then walks back up the stairs on fire. Now, for you guys that don't know about fire suits, they only keep them like on fire for like under 10 seconds.
Yeah, you got to check when they cut. Anytime they cut away from it,
yeah,
it makes you wonder how long it actually is going.
But it's a pretty long sequence, and it's crazy. It's some good stunt work.
Yeah.
And then the dad comes to rescue her. They finally boot in the door, and all you see is these fire footprints going upstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
And this part is silly.
I don't get the bed thing at the end with mom. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand the end of this movie at all.
Her skeleton corpse. Well, we'll get into it when we get right to the end. There's a conflict of how they wanted to end this between New Line Cinemas and Wes Craven.
Gotcha.
Bob Shea, which Bob Shea is in every one of these movies. His sister is was the teacher in this. She's the old lady in Detroit Rock City. She plays tons of parts because she's Bob Shea's sister. But this part with the mother being the weird like zombie corpse that blends into the bed, and the dad's just like, well, finally, no more fucking alimony payments.
No more child support.
It's like, thanks, Krueger. He goes to where he hid the body and pours a beer out for him. Thanks, homie. It's been hell. It's been like $2,400 a month. I can't afford it.
Yeah, you helped me out a lot, dude. Thank you. You have no idea. Shit's expensive. You know how much it is feeding a fucking alcoholic?
How many Stoli bottles do I got to buy this week? None. She's dead.
0. Yeah, it's a weird ending. Back to just kind of conclude my thoughts on Nancy, though. I really like that she gets an opportunity to fight with Freddy. And I also like that it's not going to be a picnic. He's completely indestructible in the dream world, but then when you get him out, he's still a maniac with claw hands.
Yeah.
And you're 15. So
yeah, exactly.
You got your work cut out for you. And I like that she has to outsmart him, outfox him. And, the story Glenn told at the beginning about, I just turn around and I fucking will away the demon. Didn't help him when he got pulled into his bed. But it does help her at the end of the movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, she finally goes, I know your secret now. This is just a dream. You're not real. You're just shit. I take back all the power I've given you. I want my friends and my mother back. And he's like, you what? He's like, it's like, wait. He's just like a car salesman. Like, I don't want to buy this car. And he's like, wait, what?
After all the time we spent?
Yeah.
I texted you so many times. But no, it's weird. So the only thing I think that I have a knock on this movie is the end is a real mess, kind of like the end.
Yes.
Like it makes sense. Pull him out of the dream, fuck him up with booby traps. You beat his ass, you fuck him up, and then he's just a guy. But then just a guy who disappears mom through the fucking bed portal, and then who vanishes in a weird, goofy Starbright moment, and then who at the very end is the fucking car. Like,
yeah,
what happened? Can you break this down for me, or is it just a mess?
Well, it's a mess because what happened was Bob Shea wanted the ability to do a sequel because a lot of people don't know about New Line Cinema is New Line Cinema. They call it the house that Freddy made because they were so close to being bankrupt and they put all their money into this movie and they were hoping that they get a return on it. And it did. It did fantastic. So they wanted to have a sequel option if it did well.
They're all clanking champagne glasses. Yay, child killers.
Yeah, child killers. Oh, I mean,
yeah,
we're good. And what happened was they were just going to end it that she got her friends back and the family, everyone's good. We're going to have a good time.
Meaning what? It was just all a dream?
Yes, that she took his power back. She took her power back and she woke from the dream that Freddy was a part of.
So it was a dream within a dream, some Inception shit?
Yeah, kind of. And like they have several different cuts of the end of this. They have one where Freddy's driving the car. You can look it up online. I have a VHS dual VHS tape that has all the background stuff that they cut out of this. And it is like a whole nother tape full of like cuts and things at the end. And they just tried to figure out some kind of shocking like gotcha moment. So they had the mother pulled through like like she's a little doll.
It looked like a mini doll lady.
Yeah, it looked like those. You remember like the clay fighter deathmatch show?
Yeah. Yeah. Celebrity deathmatch?
Yes. They look like them.
Dude.
They look like claymation figures being torn through the window.
That's really fucking funny. And you're absolutely right. It did.
And so they fought over it, and Wes Craven was kind of pissed. He still hates the ending of the movie.
Yeah, it's stupid.
because he wanted it negates the whole thing with Nancy retaining her power, getting her power back, and fending off Freddy, and then to go back and be like, oh no, he's still here. All that meant nothing, and that's why he had a problem with it, and that's why
It's because it's bad writing.
It's bad writing, and he also he didn't want anything to do with the rest of them, because he's not a sequel guy. He doesn't like to do sequels. He signed on to help write the third one, and then after that
shows.
Yeah, you can see, but that one had like 6 writers, Frank Darabont and a couple other people to fix the script. And then he did the New Nightmare, which is, very meta, the precursor to Scream, the meta horror movies.
Right. So getting back to the actual ending, we got a lot of history there, which is awesome. What are we supposed to like? If I look at if I was to sit down with a screenwriter, what would he tell me is actually happened here? I know you're not that guy, but you probably know this movie a bit better than I do. So is the trick that he still has power even when he's brought into the normal realm, and that weird cut when him disappearing to her going back outside? What transpires between that night and the next day? Or is it supposed to be vague, showing maybe it all was a dream, but oh no, it wasn't a dream? Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it was all a dream, but you're still in Freddy's fucking dream.
It's supposed to be like a little bit gray area. Like it's supposed to be the cut, like when she walks from the dark room into the bright outside, because that's the bedroom.
Correct.
And then she's now walking outside. It's supposed to be like the end of the dream, but it's really not the end of the dream. It's still going. The whole thing, it's so ambiguous because, again, they were just trying to figure it out how to make a sequel.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the lore. We got to remember, there was no lore. There are no rules. There is no...
They're making it up as they go.
They're making it up as they go, and they kind of didn't get it right until the third movie. Because the second movie's all over the place. The third movie's kind of like, you can go into your movie, you can go into your dream, and you can have certain powers and have special abilities, but when you wake up, you're just your normal person again.
And I think they fuck up in 3 too, because when he marionette walks, the kid like teleports through the door.
Through the doors.
Again, another one where you go, what the fuck? Like, stick to your own rules. But
that's the thing, because it would make it, they were like, we can sacrifice it. And that's also the difference by having 6 or 7 writers.
Yeah, of course.
That don't understand the lore or don't even know the lore because there wasn't really much of it.
Yeah, they don't have like a series Bible they're going off of.
Yeah.
It's like, I always think of Battlestar Galactica where Ron Moore's like, here's the series Bible. Like, I'm going to have other writers do episodes, but at the end of the day, these are the rules of this universe that you have to follow. And that's great when you already have that vision worked out, but Nightmare was just sort of this idea, and then suddenly it became a franchise. So pretty cool. But it was a ton of fun talking about this and just kind of bullshitting about Freddy Krueger, what the character is, what he means, what's it mean to like Freddy Krueger, what's it mean to like Nightmare. It doesn't mean anything. It's a bunch of horse shit. It's probably largely just horse shit. But no, ton of fun, man. How many people died in this one? Have we been keeping account?
Okay, so you got
Let's go through.
Tina.
Tina dies first.
Yep, you got Rod Lane.
Yep, he dies second.
And then you have Glenn.
Dies third.
And then the mother.
And
4.
then Mommy dies 4.
Yep.
Because Mom's gone.
Yes.
And we know Heather's not gone because she's back in 3.
Nope. And even in 3, she says that she has a line where she goes, my mother, and she freezes, my mother passed away.
Right.
So she died from Freddy.
Freddy killed 4. The Exorcist killed 2.
2, yeah.
Just the 2 priests.
2 priests, yep.
No, 3.
No,
Burned.
3. The weirdo guy that got thrown out of the
Roman
window with his head
Polanski.
turned all around.
Polanski got window dropped.
Roman Polanski.
Fucker.
Oh,
I thought she was
shit.
37.
Yeah.
Sorry. Remember Mallrats?
Yeah. Who's your
That
favorite new
girl's
kid?
only 15, fucking Brody says to the cop. What? I thought she was 37.
Come on, guys. You wouldn't tell me you wouldn't pop there.
Fuck that language, too. Ugh.
So bad.
Tell me you wouldn't have popped the. Anyway, so we're up to, so we got 3 and 3?
4 and 4.
So
3 and
4
4.
and 3.
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
7.
3 and 4.
Fucking
Jesus
knuckleheads.
Christ. I can't add.
So we're up to 7 kills. All right. I think we're going to get a few more when we get to Michael Myers next
Oh,
week.
yeah. Hell
Looking
yeah.
forward to that one. Well, this has been a ton of fun. Thank you to everyone who wrote in. If you're on Discord, check us out, Nightmare on Elm Street. The Exorcist. We're putting channels for every movie we do, and then we'll archive those channels. And if you got anything interesting to say, we'll talk about it. Again, special thanks to Jack for sharing some of his thoughts. He created a ton of content for us with that question, so thank you. And Master of Rock, that's always coming through. Master of Rock is great because he's always asking questions that create an opportunity for us to converse about something. So more of that would be great. We love questions. I know a lot of people like sharing their thoughts and showing us how much they know movies better than us, which sometimes is true. But sometimes questions lead to better content. So good shit, guys. Appreciate it very much. I think that's it. We're out of here.
Yeah.
If you're a member, make sure you check out our Satanic Panic episode, which is dropping or has dropped at this point on the LDI After Hours feed. And we never did a membership pitch, so you're getting off the hook. You're getting off the hook this week for a membership pitch. But consider lsgmedia.net. That's lsgmedia.net. Scott, Maja, we're out of here. Peace. Oh, wait. Next week, Halloween.
Yes.
We're out.
Awesome.
Yay. We did it.
Hell yeah.